here with Tua for another video. In this video, I'm going to read through and react to two different websites that I actually personally used when I was deciding on a bull mastiff and doing research myself. And basically both sites give information on what a bull mastiff should be like and what you should possibly expect if you got one or if you have one. And basically I'll read through these and tell you how I think Tua compares. I've had him for almost a year now, so I think I have a pretty good vibe of the breed standard that he's falling into or not, and his personality. He still has a ways to go with growing and everything, and I'm sure there will still be some personality traits that come out that he doesn't have now, but in general, it's been about a year, so we should have a pretty good idea. The first website is hillspet.com, and that basically just tells mostly about breed standards and personality traits, things like that. The second website is Dogtime.com, and that uses like a star ranking system. So you'll see, hey Floof, you'll see exactly how that star system works as I read through it. But we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, guys, so here we are at hillspet.com. And I'm just going to go ahead and read right through this and react like I said. The bull mastiff's natural suspicion of strangers makes socialization and training crucial at an early age. I couldn't agree more. I've mentioned this many times in all of my videos at some point or another, that it's basically a part-time job is how you have to treat it and make it when they're young to get them socialized. Couldn't agree more. Weight range. The males, Tua is a male, 110 to 130 pounds. Tua is actually, he has surpassed this. I believe the month 13 update video, he was weighed in at 134. And these dogs are supposed to continue growing until they're about 2, possibly even 3. So he has surpassed that in weight and will continue to surpass that breed standard. Height at the withers, male 26 inches. Again, Tua has surpassed that as well. 29.5 inches last time I measured him in that month 13 update. So kind of crazy. Features: droopy eyes, floppy ears. Yeah, he definitely has both of those. Exercise requirements: 40 minutes a day. I would say that's probably about right. Tua is younger still, you know, barely a year old, so he could definitely do much more of that. But he's really day to day. I would say overall he's falling into the breed standard of not needing much, but some days he definitely needs more, which goes right into the energy level, low to moderate. He's definitely falling into that low to moderate. Same thing, very day to day. But when these dogs are younger, they're going to need more than when they're older, obviously. When he's 2-3 years old, and I'm still here documenting him, if you go back and look at videos today, he'll probably be very lazy compared to what he is now and today. Longevity range, 8 to 10 years, typical from everything I've read. Obviously, he's only a year, so couldn't tell you how long he's going to live. Tendency to drool, high tendency. I've touched on this many times. Most of his drooling, 90%, is just after he's drinking water. Otherwise, you know, if he's hot and panting or stressed out or excited, a little bit of drool, but not a whole lot besides the whole drinking water thing. Maybe that's just my case, or maybe it's typical to most dogs, but people aren't used to them drooling around water. But that's Tua's case. Snoring, high. I would say Tua doesn't snore that often, but he does every once in a while. Tendency to bark, low. I would agree with that. If you are a regular viewer of this channel, you know that Tua doesn't really bark except for the one situation. That's when he's in our backyard. So I don't know if that's he's just protecting our backyard or he's just protective of it. I don't know. But basically the only time he barks is when he's in our backyard. And it's almost every time he's in our backyard now. So that's kind of interesting. Tendency to dig, low. He has had a few instances where he's kind of digs, not like a straight up hole, but definitely scratches the surface of our yard if he's smelling stuff. Never when we're out there with him. It's always when he's left alone. So it could be, you know, a boredom type thing, but definitely not like digging holes. Bred for Estate Guardian. I'm sure all of you guys know that if you're looking into the breed. The coat length is short. flat. The colors are red, fawn, and brindle. Tua is kind of a red fawn. He's kind of in between that red and fawn. Overall grooming needs moderate. I'd agree with that. Maybe even a little bit on the lower side. I brush him, once a week, basically for 10 to 15 minutes, give or take. The AKC classification is working, and we'll just go ahead and read the description here. Bullmastiff has a broad, wrinkled head and a fairly short, square muzzle. The nose is black, the eyes are dark hazel, the ears are V-shaped and hang downward. I'm not going to read through all that. Personality, let's do that. Bullmastiffs are gentle and affectionate with family members. They're generally calm, easygoing natures make them good dogs for families with reasonably well-behaved children. However, the Bullmastiff's laid-back attitude with family members is likely to change when strangers enter the picture. These dogs tend to be quite suspicious of people outside the family. So I have not noticed that yet. Tua's been very well socialized from a young age. And I can say that everybody that walks through our house, he is super excited to see them. I've never seen him be suspicious with anybody. He's running up to them, tail wagging, to the point that I've told you guys many times that I tend to keep him on a leash if somebody's coming over, just because I don't want him to get all up in their face when they don't really know him. And he's just so excited to see people. He wants to get pet. Definitely not suspicious of people. Maybe that will change as he gets older. We'll see. For all his family-oriented loyalty, the Bullmastiff is no pushover. He can be independent thinker, which can make training a challenge. He also may be less tolerant of family's animal members than of its human members. Caution may be in order if you're thinking of adding a Bullmastiff. Well, I would say he definitely is an independent thinker, but I wouldn't say it's been a challenge to train him. I've put out some training videos where you guys can look at that. I would say he was just as easy as any other dog I've had in the past. Even my Doberman Pinscher probably. Maybe not quite that easy, but Dobermans are known to catch on extremely quick to things. They're extremely intelligent, and I would say Tua caught on with most of the things that I've asked him to do just as quickly. Living with. A family with a Bullmastiff will be rewarded with a loving, loyal companion. However, despite the dog's general easygoing nature, supervision is imperative when the dog is around children, as the dog is so large that it could inadvertently knock a child over. This, if you guys are a regular viewer, I've mentioned this tons and tons and tons, to be very careful with them when they're around small kids, because they are so big and they do get excited and they want to play, and they can knock kids down. And he has many times with our kids. Socialization and training are crucial to living successfully with the breed. Couldn't agree more. By exposing the dog to as many new people, places, and situations as possible, especially when he's a puppy, he may be less suspicious of visitors and people he doesn't know. Well, that explains what I just said, that he hasn't really been suspicious of visitors and people he doesn't know coming into the house, and that's because we've socialized him so well. If you're adding a Bullmastiff to your family, consider buying him a bib, as these dogs tend to slobber and drool quite a bit. I don't really know how that would work, because all the drooling that Tua's ever done, it's never ended up on his neck or chest, so I guess I wouldn't agree with that. I'm not going to read through the history here. See if there's anything else on here. No. The history is pretty straightforward. You guys probably know about that. We'll go ahead to the next website now. Okay, here we are at Dogtime.com. I'll just read through this quickly. The Bullmastiff dog breed is a firm and fearless family guardian. While standoffish toward strangers, they've got a soft spot for their loved ones. Called the silent watchdog, this breed is nonetheless so mellow that they make a great apartment dog. They have short, easy care coat, but beware, these dogs are droolers. If you can get past a little slobber, you'll find a big protective companion who will be happy to join you on adventures, so long as you save a spot for them on the couch afterward. And this is that kind of like star ranking system that I was telling you guys about, so we'll go through these individually and I'll just tell you what I think. So adaptability is the first grouping. Adapts well to apartment living. We're in a house, so I'm not sure of that, but based on Tua's personality and everything else, energy level, I would say a Bullmastiff would be just fine in an apartment, as long as you're able to get them out on regular walks, especially when they're young. I think it would be okay, but I would say a fenced-in yard would be best. Good for novice owners, 2 stars. So I guess I would agree with that. I'd say that's about right to give it 2 stars. It would definitely take the right person to have one, as if they were a first-time dog owner, I guess. Let me just put it that way. Sensitivity level of a bull mastiff, 4 stars. I would say that's about right also, just based on, you know, to his personality that I've experienced up to this point. Tolerates being alone, 2 stars. I would say 2 stars is too low. I think 2 is just fine when he's alone. He's in his crate, you know, for several hours during the day, almost every day. He's just fine. He goes out in the backyard all the time by himself, and he's just fine. Like, he loves being around us, but he doesn't seem to be scared or anything when he's not around us. I would almost put that at 4 stars, 5 stars maybe. Tolerates the cold weather, 4 stars. I would say that's about right. He definitely likes the cold weather more than the hot weather. Once it's into like the 20s and 30s, that's about, you know, the point where he just starts not tolerating it, I guess. Where we live, it gets very cold. Like right now, it's like 45 below zero outside, and obviously that's not going to be tolerated well by any dog. But as long as it's in the 20s and 30s, he loves it, and he loves the snow. So 4 stars is about right for me. Tolerates the hot weather, 2 stars. I'd say that's about right. I mean, he definitely shows that he doesn't really tolerate it as well as the cold weather. Wants to come in sooner, things like that, versus when it's colder out, he'll stay outside for as long as he possibly can. All around friendliness is the next category. Affectionate with the family, 5 stars. I would agree with that. Sometimes even over affectionate. Kid friendly, 5 stars. I would agree with that in one aspect, being that definitely loves being around the kids and stuff, but almost a little over, what's the word I'm looking for, exuberant, I guess. Goes back to, you know, able to knock them over pretty easily when he's excited. Dog friendly, 4 stars. I would agree with that. I know it's kind of typical to the breed to be dog aggressive, especially male on male. We have not experienced that with Tua yet at all. Hopefully we don't. He could still go through changes where that could turn for the worse, but as of right now, he's been friendly with every dog we've ever come into contact with, even if they've been growling or nipping at him. So I'd say 4 stars is about right. And friendly towards strangers, 3 stars. In Tua's case, it's 10 stars if we could go that high. Absolutely loves people, strangers, doesn't matter. But I'd say typical for the breed, everything that I've read, you know, 3 stars is probably about right. Some are, some aren't. Health and grooming needs. Pomona shedding, 1 star, which would mean extremely low. I would disagree with that. I did look at how they're ranking this based on like another type of dog that's very popular that people know about, a lab. A lab was 5 stars. People know that they're very high shedding. I would say Tua is more around like a 3 star comparing to a lab. If a lab's 5, it's not like a crazy amount, and like I said, if I brush them, you know, once a week for 10 or 15 minutes, it's not too noticeable. But I definitely wouldn't say 1 star. 1 star to me is like our little miniature pinscher where you don't even notice it at all. Tua, it's noticeable. If he's sitting with you, it'll be on your clothes and stuff like that, but it's not, you know, all over the house. Drooling potential, 5 stars. I guess I agree with that, mainly after water. I've already talked about that till I'm blue in the face, so I won't spend any more time on it. Easy to groom, 5 stars. I agree. All you got to do is brush them, wipe down his face, and clean their ears every once in a while, so not too much with that. General health, 2 stars. That sounds about right. They can have a lot of issues, but I haven't experienced any of that with Tua yet, obviously, with him being so young. Potential for weight gain, 5 stars. I would agree with that because they are supposed to get extremely lazy as they age, and you guys know how that goes. And then size, 5 stars. Obviously, Tua is 134.5 pounds last time I had him weighed, which is massive. So yeah, 5 stars. Trainability, easy to train, 3 stars. In my experience, I'd give that maybe a 4 because, like I said, he's very easy to train. Intelligence, 3 stars. Probably same thing. I'd probably give that a 4, maybe a 5. He seems very intelligent, very smart, but I don't know what they're really comparing that to. He's obviously not, you know, as smart as like a Doberman or something like that. but he seems very intelligent and smart to me. Potential for mouthiness, 3 stars. When he's a puppy, it's a 5, but that's any puppy. So, but after that, he's not really mouthy at all. After those baby puppy teeth fall out, it's not really an issue. So I would say 1 star after they get all of their teeth out. Prey drive, a 3. I would say that's about right. He definitely tries to get after our min pin every once in a while when they're playing. And if there's a rabbit or something in the yard, he'll definitely chase after that. But I don't have a whole lot to compare that to. Tendency to bark or howl, 4 stars. I would say that's probably about right, but like I've said many times, the only time he really barks or howls is in our backyard. Otherwise, he's very quiet, so depending on the situation, that could be 5 stars or no stars. Wanderlust potential, I guess I don't know about that because we have a fenced-in yard, and if he's not in that, he's on his leash. I guess at my mom's lake, it's kind of probably about an acre lot, but that's also fenced in. But I would say he kind of sticks around us. But I've never let him just off leash out in the open, so I'm not really sure on that. Physical needs, energy level, 2 stars. Again, that's day to day, but I would say that's probably typical for the breed and overall. As he ages, maybe even a 1 star as they get older, but we're not there yet, so I don't know. I would say his energy level now is a 2 or 3. Intensity level 4. That's kind of difficult for me to judge. I guess I wouldn't really say he's that intense of a dog, so I'd maybe give it a 2 or 3, but it really depends on the situation. Exercise needs, a 3. I'd say that's about right. As he gets older, that'll probably be down to a 1 or 2, but right now I'd say a 3 is about right. And potential for playfulness, 5. I would say that's very dependent on the situation as well. If we're outside, that's definitely a 5. If we're inside, that's maybe a 1 or 2 most of the time, with sometimes it will be higher. But that is it, guys. That's that star system. And then just the general personality traits for a bull mastiff and how I think that they stack up and compare to Tua with my 1 year of experience with him. If you guys have any questions, comments about how your bull mastiff stacks up to these as well, go ahead and let me know. I'd be really interested to hear how they compare to the breed standard and also to Tua. But that's all I have, guys. Thanks for watching.